Hi, this is Lou from Lou's Antiques and Collectibles, and we are still at Mackinac City for our summer vacation. And we have one more place that we have to go junking at, but we just had to put the water in because it's so beautiful there. This is Lake Huron in Michigan. We're not in the Upper Peninsula, but we're real close to it. So let's just listen because it sounds so good. So we're driving to Cheboygan, Michigan today, and this is the main street in Sheboygan. We thought we'd give you a little look at to take a peek of the town. We love coming here. We usually come here at least once or twice during our trip, and it's only about 13 miles away from Mackinac City, so it's pretty close. And today we're going to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, a little bit outside of town, but we usually always hit this one when we're there because this is a good place to find some interesting things. So we're pulling up to the sign here. And the Habitat for Humanity stores, they have a lot of building supplies that are donated, but they also have jewelry and furniture and all kinds of knickknacks. And I have found some amazing things here, especially in the jewelry department, which you would not think this would be a store that has that. But they have a little bit of everything. So there's some cabinet doors there on the outside. And we're going to go on in and take a look. There is a ton of furniture at this store, and the people that managed it were gracious enough to let me do the YouTube on it to see all the things that they have, because it's not what you always think. It's not just the building supplies. Look at all these books. They have so much more than just that. I usually hit these Habitat stores all around the state when I see them because they got some interesting objects in here. And you find the oddest things from your home. So here's lots more couches that they have. And I'm heading over to the knick-knack area because I deal with a lot of smalls. So of course that's what I'm mainly focusing on today. So they had shelves on either side of the store filled with all kinds of knick-knack. All kinds of knick-knacks. And let's take a look here. Oh, there's a nice cup and saucer. I always take a look at the bottom. They're typically Japan or English, and they sell for usually about $8 a set in my booth. I'm not a big seller. In years past I couldn't keep enough of them, but lately they're not buying so much. Maybe there's less collectors out there, so I passed on that today, though it was a nice set. And everything was very reasonable, like $1 or $2. Nothing's very expensive at these stores. Oh, and there's some jewelry I spot. Gotta go over there and check that out. Some cufflinks. Nice. I ended up passing on those. They were priced right, but I have a big supply of those right now. So I didn't really need to add to that. And they have all kinds of little decorative items for your home that you could purchase in very reasonable prices. So if you've ever not thought about going to these stores, these are great thrift stores too, with a little bit of everything for everybody. It's like a tackle box there and some electronics and a whole bunch of mirrors. And they do have quite a bit of furniture, like I said, and this store even had some new mattresses. And here's some linens that they had. It's a very big store too. And some bedspreads. And some crocheted items, some blankets. Those have become quite popular again. The crocheted blankets that all of our grandmothers used to make for us. So keep your eyes out for those. They're really good sellers. And here's some bookshelves and some pictures. And some desks and some cabinets. Ooh, that's a cute little dog. I decided to pass on him because he was fairly new. He was made of that composite material. It's a composite plastic. And although it sells when it's a dog, I'd rather have stuff a little bit older if I can. Sometimes I have new stuff too. So here's some pots and pans. And some kitchen electronics. That looked like a crummer. That's something that they used long ago when they would clean off their tables, and they would put the crumbs into that with the little brushes. That one didn't have the handle though, so I passed on it. It's nice when you can find them with the little brushes too. And here's some t-shirts that they sell for their business. And all kinds of dishes and mugs. Very reasonably priced, and there's some plasticware. And that's caught my eye because it was silver. The lid didn't fit properly on that. I don't think it went with it, but I was mainly looking to see if it was pure silver. The silver plated is very nice and decorative, but if it was pure silver, it would be worth quite a bit of money. But it wasn't. It was silver plated, and being the lid didn't fit properly, I passed on that. The only thing bad about that silver plated is you have to polish it. Here's a little piece of depression glass. A cup in pink. Was very nice, but only one cup. And here was some candlewick dishes, I believe. I think I wasn't sure because the balls on the bottom looked a little bit big to me, so I wasn't sure if that was actually candlewick or something else. So I passed on that. And here's another depression glass pattern. This is called pretzel. And there were some cups and saucers there. Oftentimes people don't realize the clear is depression glass also. You have to know your patterns. And here's some pictures and some wall art. That was a nice piece of metal wall art with the fleur-de-lis. And we're on the other side of the building. We're checking out some of the smalls on that side. There's some salt and pepper shakers. And this was a nice teapot. I was seeing if there was a maker's mark on the bottom, and you could tell this one was homemade by somebody. You can see the kiln still marks on the bottom, and often they'll date it. They'll scratch it into the ceramic, and I don't usually buy that kind of stuff unless it's something really, really appealing like a Christmas tree or something. But I tend to look for stuff that was made by companies because that's usually what people collect rather than the stuff that was homemade. And this was a nice sharpener that I should have bought. It was for those, I believe it's called rata knives that are really good, and we have some of that stuff, but I don't know what I was thinking that day. I must have been in a mood that day too. I don't know. Here's some nice games. It's always good to check these out. Sometimes you find some really old games in with the standard types of games. I've gotten some games that were from the 20s and 30s sometimes in these piles. And some albums. And this is the back room where they have a lot of the hardware types of things for your home. So I always check this out because you never know what's back here. They might have some really neat old doors or something I could do something with. Here's some hardware and some handles. If you were gonna fix up an old dresser or replace the handles on your cabinets, you could find stuff like that here. And any kind of renovation materials, they have it here. And often it's new and it's just been donated by builders or stores or whatnot. Sometimes it's used things. They have lots of lighting fixtures, and that's great if you're trying to redo an old home. And here's a bunch of fan pieces for your ceiling fans, and more cabinet doors in case you're missing something. Always good to check out. Sometimes there's even new windows and things like that there if you're doing some sort of a home project. And if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and please subscribe so we can do more of these. There was some chicken wire I was checking out. I have done a few projects with that, but it was a little bit too wide for me. And here's more lighting fixtures. If you just needed the globes for your light, especially if you're restoring an older home. And they even have some bed sets in the back. You could make projects with those. A lot of people use headboards to make benches. This would be a good place to go to find those. You'd find the older ones there. And here's a bunch of doors Most of them are modern. Sometimes I found some really older doors that I've done some decorative things with. Put some old reefs on them and made cute things out of them. I was checking out a couple of them there. That one was a little bit of an older door, but too big of a window. These chairs were super cute. I debated on this one with the wooden arms. I was thinking about recovering that because it had a really good shape. But we were on vacation, so I passed. I didn't want to have to haul it home. We had extra people with us. And here's a Hummel. Can you believe that? If it didn't have a chip, that'd have been all mine. 50 cents. This is Lou from Lou's Antiques and Collectibles saying goodbye. And don't forget to check out your Habitat for Humanity stores in your area.